Oh, here, I forgot about this one, right? This one probably absolutely everybody ruins society assumptions. Oh, assumptions. Everyone assumes everything, right? Everyone assumes everything, but the assumption is always wrong. It's usually always wrong whenever you assume something happens, right? You're like, somebody stops talking to you. They stop talking. Like, why do they not talk to me? And then, instead of asking the person, instead of seeing what they're doing, getting their opinion or anything, you just sit there in your mind. This pen doesn't work. This is the one that does. Maybe they have to switch out the pens every once in a while. So somebody hasn't talked to you for over a week. So instead of talking to them, you just sit there in your own mind, and then you just assume so many different possibilities, right? There's a possibility one, possibility two, and then as you keep on assuming things, you keep coming up with more possibilities, and then eventually you don't even want to talk to that person anymore because you assumed the worst. You assumed the absolute worst thing you could think of, and then because you just came up with that idea yourself, you are correct, right? You are right. That's what you believe, right? You believe that because you told yourself that that is the reason everything happened here. So you assume that, but then the other person there sitting there doing something completely different, right? Completely different. Absolutely nothing like you had assumed. The truth was completely different than when you had assumed. So in reality, maybe if you talked to that person, maybe if you asked them what was happening, maybe they would have told you something. Maybe they were busy. Maybe they were busy trying to set up their future or something. Maybe they were busy trying to escape from society. Oh, because we're doing all these society things. The other person, they were trying to escape from society. And then you were probably stuck in society. You were stuck in society. And since you're still stuck over there, he's actually joined a different group that's not in society anymore. So instead of because these people, they can't think for themselves just because they don't have time to think for themselves, right? It's not because they can't think for themselves, it's because they don't have time to think for themselves. They're too busy in society, right? They're too busy going to work 9 to 5, and then they're busy sleeping for the other 8 hours, and then the other 8 hours they're just at home watching television, rotting their brain probably because television's the main thing to do in society, right? You just go to work, you go home, you watch television, you sleep, work, television, sleep, work, television. And then the person that you assumed did all these things that are absolutely terrible. This person did nothing wrong. They did absolutely nothing wrong. It was you who did something wrong because you created all these false thoughts in your head and all these false answers that you created. So this person is probably here doing something, and then he's too busy that he's focused on doing whatever they were doing all of their time, that they probably they forgot about you because they actually grew up in the world. They learned that all the things that everybody else does, right? Everyone else does. They are stuck in society just doing all their own things. They found out they broke free. So these people broke free. So maybe if you talk to the person that you assumed they just did the absolute worst thing in the world, they broke free. Like, what are you doing? You'd be like, maybe they would tell you that they broke free from society, and they would ask you to join them. But actually, he is too busy doing all this other stuff, so I don't think he would really care too much, right? He wouldn't try to free you from society. Oh, maybe he did. Maybe they did try to free you from society. Maybe you were just too busy locked up with your work. You couldn't really think about anything. So you didn't have time to realize that he was probably telling you, he was probably trying to help you, probably trying to help you, but then you were not probably listening to anything that they said because you were too distracted by everything. So we don't know the assumptions. I thought there was going to be more content than that, but basically we already covered everything. We already said that assumptions are terrible because if you just sit there in your own mind without talking to the person that you're assuming, you're just gonna come up with the worst assumption in the world, and then you are right because you came up with the assumption. So the person that you were assuming, they could never be wrong. So that has to be the answer because you sat there and you thought about it. So maybe that's the reason, because you don't really have time to think about things usually. So when you're forced to think about things like that, maybe it changes something that I don't even know. Maybe you're not used to having time to think about anything. So maybe it's different, because maybe these people, maybe is there something different about you guys? Is there something different that you guys do that I just cannot understand? I have not figured it out yet. But assumptions, absolutely terrible. All right, so I don't know, maybe we could talk about how this person has broken themselves from society. They have a broken free, so they don't need people with society anymore. So all those people that are still stuck in society, they're all still stuck there, but he's way over here now, and then all the society people are all the way over here, stuck there forever in their endless things forever. So he has broken free from society now. He has all of these options that opened up because he has all this time to think about anything. Because he basically quit everything. He quit everything. And then he decided to do his own thing. His own thing. And then the whole world opened up to him. Because he didn't really have to do anything that he had to used to before that life that he used to live is just past. It doesn't even exist to him anymore. He wonders how he ever lived with all those people in society before that just basically do the same thing all the time, and basically talk about the same thing all the time. And then if they it's weird how they can actually detect people that aren't in society, right? Because they all seem to talk to each other, although they don't actually talk to each other, because when they're going, like if they're out shopping or anything, right? All these people that are stuck in society, they would be going to the store for probably exactly the same objectives or something. If they're all going to the store to buy food or anything, or if they're just going to buy gifts, or if they're going to buy whatever they buy. All right, yeah, so we'll just finish it up with a little bit different things. So the strangest thing about society that I have not even been able to find out yet, right? Because society, basically most of the people in society will basically live all the same. I mean, they'll have those differences, right? They'll have all the divisions of all these societies. Everyone is divided in some way, and then those people are subdivided in their society in another way, and then they just keep getting divided. So even though society, those people are all together, they're all living these same lives and everything, they never actually talk to each other. Because if you actually look at anybody in the world in society, what happens? What are all the different people in society? Basically, one family will only talk to their family. That's it. So if you're family members, you might talk to those people in society. Although, if you don't have the same interests, like if you guys eventually, if one of them becomes a criminal, then the family might they split up. So even the families are split up, right? If you go shopping at the shopping mall, shopping for food, do you ever talk to any of the other people within your society that are also shopping at the same store? Probably not. And probably when you're going to anywhere, if you're going to watch the movies or anything, all those people that are in the lineup to watch the movies, they're in the same same subsector of society, right? Because you guys are all going to the movie theater. So say you're all going to the movie theater. You guys are all in your own part of society at the movie theater. Although absolutely every single group of people is almost separated. Maybe some people might talk to each other, and they might share the common relations with the movie they're talking to. They're going to go watch, right? So they might actually talk to each other a little bit about the movie, but then after the movie's done at the movie theater, all these little people in society, they all go off their own directions, off to their own little home, even blocked off from society within itself, right? So those guys were in a little society gathering, but now all these people in society are actually just all at home, cuddled in their home little homes by themselves, actually cut off from society in essence, in a sense, by themselves, right? Because if you're, yeah, we could say if we're in like a crescent, right? If these are all of the houses in a crescent, they're essentially in the same crescent. They all live basically right next to each other, right? They're maybe next door neighbors, but because the way society even divides all these people, right? It should be one big huge community where all these people always talk to each other, but everything is always so subdivided. Everything's divided absolutely every way possible that a society allows them to divide everybody. So even this group, this community that's stuck inside this little crescent that all basically lives beside each other, they never talk to each other. They will never ever talk to each other. They cannot talk to each other because that's not acceptable. They don't know anything about those people. Oh, because what has society done? I guess we could end the video with that, right? We could say, why are these guys all so afraid of each other? Why do they never ever want to talk to their neighbors? Because society, I guess society scares everybody. Society scared absolutely everybody, right? Even, yeah, whenever I go look up at the news or when you read the newspaper, it's like somebody has been killed, somebody has died. Watch out, somebody found someone on a website and they went to their house and they were murdered, and someone was picked up by somebody in a vehicle and they drove off with them. They were never ever seen again. And you could say like a person came and shot 5,000 people in one movie theater, and then it'll be like wow, that's the world that we live in, that society has taught us over the broadcasting of the news. So news controls society. News controls absolutely everybody in the society, right? News is just all scare tactics. It's all just scare tactics. I think it's all just, that's all it is, just scares to scare all the people of society to never ever talk to their neighbors again, because their neighbor could be the killer. Their neighbor could be the next person that goes around killing absolutely everybody. Your neighbor could have been the person that lured somebody into their house to kill them. Your neighbor could have been somebody who drove into their car last night and then they drove out around the world to find somebody that was just walking along the street, and then your neighbor was the one who picked up that person. Your neighbor killed that person, so careful of that person. This person is probably a killer. And then since you don't actually talk to any of these people, you know absolutely nothing about these people. So in your mind, every single one of these people on your block, they could be a killer at any point. So if you try to associate with them, you have to be careful. You have to be careful of absolutely everybody. Nobody is safe in this world. Nobody is safe anywhere. So you better stay inside your home. You stay locked inside your home, because if you are not stayed locked inside your home, you're not safe in this world. So actually, that's kind of silly, right? How everybody's just corralled in their home, and you cannot leave your home. You cannot leave your home because it's not safe outside of your home. If you leave your home, you're not safe in this world anymore. So, oh geez, yeah, that has corralled you even more, right? So now that you're still like working 9 to 5, you're working all the time, but you're also working, and then you just go back to your home. So now, oh, there's another step then. So we could just say your job is now, your job is to work for 8 hours. And then sleep. Yeah, we have to sleep for 8 hours. I already did that in the other video. Sleep for 8 hours, and then stay at home. Stay at home where it's safe. Where safe. Or if you do leave the house, if you do happen to leave your house, you better be leaving your house to spend your money. Spend money. If you leave your house, that's the only time you're allowed to leave your house. And you're allowed to leave your house for holidays. You're allowed to leave your house for other things, but don't leave your house unlocked. Do not leave your house by yourself, because anybody in society could break into your house and steal everything in your house. So now your life is just work, sleep, stay at home, work, sleep, stay at home, work, sleep, stay at home. Because the whole world's against you. Society's against absolutely everybody.